Good morning. Welcome to another edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show, Red Pill Edition. My name is Leon Jones. And this morning, I want to get into an important topic that needs to be discussed. And it's in the realm of this older woman. So the topic of this morning's video is going to be the old succubus is dysfunctional. The old succubus is dysfunctional. Now let me get into it and let me explain to you why the old succubus is the problem in her dysfunctions. Number one, when you deal with this old succubus, and you can see this old succubus on online dating, she thinks she has a lot of value, when in essence she brings nothing to the table other than high mileage pussy. That's it. She thinks she can go back and turn the odometer into when she was once unused and abused. But in reality, she can't do that. She tries to repackage herself by utilizing religion. And a number of these old succubi, they don't believe in God. They don't believe in God. It's because they want to be the matriarch. They want to be the man. And because they want to be the man, you give them the keys to the car, they drive it right off the cliff. You can't reason with this old succubus. She teaches her daughters how to be strong and teaches her sons how to be mama's boys. This is why the sons worship their mamas. This is why the sons call their mamas queens. Queen's just another word for home. But at the end of the day, this old succubus has been around the block. She's ridden the cock carousel many times. Don't let her fool you. She gets in her 30s, 40s, 50s. She has a bunch of kids by different fathers, or she even had one kid by one father. She's unmarried. And what she does, she hides behind her education. She thinks that having a good job makes her a good woman. It makes her independent. One thing she must understand is that it's more than independence than going out making your own money. As a man, I go out to work every day. You see, I don't have to brag about my achievements because I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. But this old succubus really believes that she's entitled to have a man if she has a good job and a good education. When in essence, we don't care about your job and your education. And this old succubus, she's taking on the masculine energy because she sounds like a man. And this is going across all races. She's very deviant. She talks about how stubborn and strong she is. Really? That stubborn and strength is a cover-up for, I don't want to listen to a man. I don't have to listen to a man. And as a red pill man, if you are dating the old succubus, you are dating a dysfunctional creature. She's been impregnated by a number of men if she's had multiple children or multiple babies' dads. She's been a serial dater. She doesn't respect herself. She doesn't care about her kids. The kids, to her, are only a paycheck. She hides behind her family and her job just to avoid having a decent man, but she wants the dysfunctional man so she can change the man. See, with this old succubus, she's got borderline personality disorders. She's very narcissistic. She's schizophrenic. And of course, with so many African-American old succubus or succubi, they got Stockholm syndrome. They worship this white man. But this white man doesn't want to do anything but have sex with her. And then pass her to the next white boy. And then the next white boy. And at the end of the day, she's even more dysfunctional. Why? Because she gets so many men inside her, she takes on that energy. And if you sleep with this woman, you're sleeping with every other man that she slept with. This is why that type of woman, you avoid at all times. This old succubus, for the most part, doesn't have retirement. She believes in the system. And when I mean the system, she believes in the government. She's a Democrat. Most of all, she's a feminist. And she's filled with a lot of misandry. And when you date this creature, there's going to be a lot of problems. You can't correct her. Again, she's like that old dog that you can't teach new tricks. And what happens to the old dog? You got to throw that old dog out and let that old dog die. You see, this old succubus really doesn't want a man to love because she doesn't know how to love. She's come from a long list of family members who probably molested her, probably abused her, not just sexually, physically, but verbally. And again, she likes to cover up who she really is behind the system. And when I mean the system, I'm talking about the 5 power conferences of society. Because she loves social media, because she can go get Photoshop to make herself look like something she's not. She loves online dating, because she can write in many words who she is not, but she can describe herself on online dating as something that she's not. She can go to school, become indoctrinated by these Marxist professors. And at the end of the day, she thinks she's intelligent when she's not intelligent. She loves her job. She won't listen to the man, but she will listen to her boss. She loves church. She won't listen to her man, but she'll tell you what her pastor said. And this particularly black pastor isn't really reading from that Bible. This black pastor loves his female customers to come in that church, to sit in those pews, so that he can have his lifestyle paid for. Because he doesn't live in the same neighborhood that this old succubus lives in. Now, believe it or not, when we talk about neighborhoods, this old succubus has a ratchet mindset. And when I say ratchet, I'm just not talking about black females. They're not humble. They appear masculine. You see some of these older women out here, how they cut their hair off short. Especially black women, they're too lazy to do their hair, so they cut themselves bald-headed. And then they go get a weave at the end of the day. Some of these older women, they got tattoos, they got piercings, they got different color hair as well. They're rebellious. And they teach their daughters how to be the same way. And for you young brothers out here, you got to watch some of these younger women. And if you are dealing with these younger women, see how that younger woman interacts with her mom. And you'll find out at that very moment how she's going to treat you based on how she and her mom interact. Because the older succubus is trying to teach the younger succubus how to be like her. See, this old succubus is very, very bitter. She blames men for everything. She does not hold herself accountable. You cannot have a rational conversation. You can't talk to her about politics or economics. You can't talk to her about topics that are going to make her feel uncomfortable because she doesn't want to hear you. In fact, on YouTube, this older succubus, because she doesn't deal with the truth very well, what does she do? She tells you how strong and independent she is, but she's going to run to the system and try to get brothers' videos flagged down who are speaking the truth. And the job as a red pill man is to teach. Again, this older succubus does not want to be taught. She believes that she knows everything. She'll come out with shaming language such as, "I'm old enough to be your mom." When a lot of these moms out here don't have a pot to piss in the back door to throw it out. And this older succubus, again, is a poor money manager. And when you deal with this older succubus, you are never going to be number one, because she's so busy on social media looking for likes. She's so busy working. She's so busy trying to be a mom to her grandkids because she failed at being a mom. She's so busy trying to go to school. It's nothing wrong with making money. But the problem with this old succubus is she loves to go round and round with a man. And I always tell a man, you don't argue with a woman. That's your first mistake. You lay down the law, and if she doesn't want to follow, you walk. She does not like to take no for an answer. In fact, she can't deal with the word no. But one must ask, why are we talking about the old succubus? Well, talking about the old succubus because this old succubus really believes that she has value. But what she really does is over-appraise herself. She makes herself out to be this woman who has value. But her value left her when she made poor decisions when she was very young. And you brothers, you're dealing with young women who are sleeping around. You need to drop them immediately. Now, this old succubus, when she was young, she became a single mother. And she's really regretted it ever since. That's why she's so bitter. She's bitter at men because, again, she's had many men in her life. They didn't treat her right. And these men, again, they were abusive. Some of them didn't work. And in her son, she saw the father of that son in her son. This is why she doesn't like her son. You see, with the older women, you got two things that are going on with the kids. Again, I already mentioned it earlier in this video. She either treats the son like crap or treats the son like a mama's boy. And this is why the son worships their mom. Even the mom makes no sense. He grows up thinking that men are bad. This is why he cannot have conversations with men, because he's emotional. And these older succubi, they teach emotion because that's all they have is emotion, because their whole life is based off of fantasy and emotion. They live in the moment. This old succubus does not teach. And when you deal with this old succubus, you're dealing with, now this is not all women. This is not all women, but it's enough of them to justify what I'm saying in this video. This old succubus wants you to be traditional, while she stays a modern woman. Now, this old succubus thinks she has a lot to offer. She likes to lecture you. She likes to tell you where you go wrong. But again, when you tell her where she goes wrong, she wants to come up with an argument, a straw man argument, something that doesn't relate to the topic. If you talk to her on the telephone, and I've had my experiences with talking to some, and when they don't like what you're saying, what do? They get in their feelings or they hang up. And on my channel, and this is a caution to you brothers, if you're dealing with the older succubus, you need to look at their insecurities. So when you get in a relationship with a number of them, and you're doing what you're supposed to do, you're looked at by them as, wow, this is too good to be true. If the old succubus is thinking about that, you got to let her go. And why do I say that? Because she's already coming in with a preconceived notion that the relationship is going to fail. And this is why, as a red pill man, you got to know the truth about what's going on with this older woman. Because this older woman is the dysfunctional one. She believes in feminism, and she's passed her feminist ways down to the younger women. Now, the younger women have gotten more ingrained by this feminism. It's because of social media. And guess what else this older woman is doing? She's trying to compete with her daughters for the same men. This is why she believes she can go out and date younger men. And all the younger men want to do with her is smash. But this old succubus, she believes in this BS Christianity. She believes in socialism, Marxism. She believes in the child support laws. She believes in the alimony laws. And she always talks about equality. Now, in a relationship, men and women aren't equal. They're different. You see, if she truly believed in the Bible, she would understand the hierarchy of the kingdom. It's God, man, woman, and child. And unfortunately, in the black community, it's even worse. It's all backwards. Because what this old black succubus wants is matriarchy. And we all know it. I remember watching this old succubus on Rolanda Watts back in 1993. And this old succubus was a 29, a 32-year-old, a 37, and a 41-year-old. And they were saying the same thing back then, but here's the difference. The black man didn't have a platform, he took it. And that's going to be my next video, because the older men of my generation created this old succubus. Because some of the older men were simps. I know I simped. Because had I had this red pill knowledge then, I would have been in a better position. And that's another thing about this older succubus. She wants everything to revolve around her. She doesn't care about what you are doing. You don't text her. When she wants you to text her, she's going to question you. She doesn't trust you to be a loyal man because she's not loyal. And this older succubus, When it comes to health, she doesn't take care of herself. She has a pocketbook full of drugs. You can stuff Rite Aid, Walgreens, and CVS in her purse, and you can make a prescription to her from your doctor because she's over-medicated. She's got drugs for diabetes, high blood pressure. She's got drugs for depression. And with this old succubus out here, particularly some of the black old succubi, they believe they don't need help, but they want to tell you where you're going wrong. They want to tell you you're angry. That's a shaming tactic. And when it comes to listening, they just don't listen. And at the end of the day, you're dealing with somebody that's going to frustrate you. Now, again, this is not all older women, but you got to call this older woman out, because it's the woman. Remember, a society will rise no higher than the morality of its women. It's an African proverb. Because if you watch many shows on television and you have older women like Whoopi and Joy Behar, you look at them, they're unattractive, they're unappealing, and they think if you have an opinion as a woman that you got some power. You don't have power. Again, you hide who you are behind your job, your degree, being a mother, being a strong woman, when you're really a weak woman, an insecure woman, a woman who's got bipolar disorders. A number of these old succubi have cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is when you have two conflicting views going at one another. And many of them, guess where they live? They live in the dark triad. Now, the dark triad is a triangle made up of three big disorders: narcopathy, psychopathy, and Machiavellianism. And this older succubus, she wants you to continue to wine her and dine her. Now, man, you don't have to wine and dine a woman if she likes you. Because you can wine and dine a woman for sex all you want. You might not get sex, but you'll have an empty pocket. But this older succubus, she's too irrational. In fact, she thinks she's better than you are, although she didn't put any work to get where she's at. She's benefiting off of an ideology that's really holding a number of women back, and that's feminism. But again, a lot of us guys are too naive about women in general, and we have vag on our mind too much. Fellas, what you got to do when you deal with why your woman is acting the way she is, you got to look at this culture. Because a number of these women, in general, aren't feminine. And this old succubi, the old succubus, she's not humble. So a woman that's humble is going to get a lot more out of a guy. And when it comes to this old succubus, she's self-centered. Everything is about her. If you don't do everything her way, she's going to be a coward. She's going to go ghost. Doesn't care anything about men. And a number of these old succubi are so bitter, they're misandrists. This is why you can't talk to them, because they think your opinion means nothing. And the biggest thing about this old succubi, because I might not get everything that I want to say in this video, but I'm going to hit on the main points. She's a child. You got to treat her like a child. Because what this old succubus is going to do, she's going to try to insult you when you tell her the truth. And you got to be strong enough to take these insults. Insults are really shaming tactics. Like what I saw on the show, Sally Jesse Raphael, they had a single mother on there. And what that single mother said when a guy said, well, I don't date women with children. Well, what's wrong with a woman with a child? She got offended really quickly. And then the guy said, well, you're doing pretty good to be in your position. And this was back in 1993. He cowered down. And that man is probably my age. But this is what men did. And when you deal with this old succubus, she's stuck in her ways. She doesn't want to change. And she really doesn't want a relationship either. She has no loyalty, because if she did, she wouldn't have gone through many relationships. Now, you don't have to have sex in all your relationships, but if you are a serial dater, you're not looking for commitment. What you're really looking for is a man to pay your way. And that's all this old succubus thinks of a man as. A utility, a tool. And to all you brothers out there, all across racial lines, you got to be very careful. You got to start looking inside a woman instead of on the outside of a woman. Because this old succubus, what she also does, and I've seen it on Plenty of Fish, she'll place pictures of younger women out there. She'll lie about her age, but going back to her placing pictures of younger women out there, she'll do that to try to attract men. Because, again, this succubus, the older one, thinks just like a child. They allow their child to have power in the house. You date these old succubus and their children are living at home, their children are running over the old succubus. And if her children aren't respectful to her, they're not going to be respectful to you. This is why, when it comes to women with children, period, whether they're old or young, don't date them. You're going to date these single moms out here, make sure the kids are grown and gone and have their own families. Or at least grown and gone and they're not calling every day. Because at the end of the day, this older succubus, she wants to go party. She acts like she wants a relationship. No, she wants a relationship with everybody else. She sees more value in her family, her grandkids, her grown kids, her job. Being a strong and independent woman. Social media than she does in you as a man. As a red pill man, once you see those traits, you understand the truth. It's much easier for you to continue to go your own way. Because as a red pill man, peace, not war. And that's my commentary for this edition of the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show right here on YouTube. If you like what I just presented, please comment, share, and subscribe. You can also catch me on the weekends, Blog Talk Radio. And if you want to know where my Blog Talk Radio podcasts are, you click on the link at the bottom of all of my YouTube videos. It's Blog Talk Radio /411 Talk Zone Radio Show. I'm also on Twitter and Facebook. And again, thank you all for listening to this edition of the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show. Say God bless you. Once again, my name is Leon Jones, and I'm out.